Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Margarita and today I'm here to bring you my first official recent reads video. I'm going to be discussing 7 books in this video and they are ranked from my least favorite to my most favorite. And without further ado, let's just jump into the video. So the first book that I'm going to talk about is The Drowning Eyes by Emily Foster. I found this book on Book Outlet and I figured I'd give it a shot. It seemed pretty interesting. This is set in a world where certain people have the power to control storms and they're called wind speakers, and they have an idol which helps them to harness and control their powers, which has been stolen by people on the dragon ships. And our main character, Sheena, is the only survivor of the school that was massacred, and this school is what held the idol, and she has been tasked with getting it back. So she enlists the help of a pirate named Tazir and her ship, and she goes looking for the idol. I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy it. It's only 130 pages and there was so much, and I felt like the world could have been so much better fleshed out and the characters could have been better fleshed out, and it just really left me wanting more. I had questions that didn't have answers and I just really wanted more of the story. So that's the reason I gave this 3 out of 5 stars, but I still really enjoyed it. And let's be honest, this is a badass cover. Like, look at her go. The next book that I'm going to be talking about briefly is Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. I will go more in depth into this book. I will do a full review later on my channel and I'll tell you my star ratings for each of the stories. But this book is basically a short story collection and it's all about women, women's bodies, the violence against women's bodies and stuff like that. For the most part, I did really enjoy the collections. There were a couple that I really did enjoy, and there were a couple that I felt were either predictable or just I felt too stupid to understand what she was trying to say, maybe? I don't know. But there were some that I just didn't get. But for the most part, I did enjoy this. I'm hoping to come back to it and reread it at a later date. Hopefully figure out, enjoy it a little bit more. But like I said, I will go more in depth in this. I'll do a full review later on when filming gets a little bit easier, because right now I'm really out of practice. And I gave that book a 3 out of 5 stars. Don't remember if I said that. The next 2 books I'm going to talk about, I don't have physical copies because I read e-copies of them on Overdrive. And the first one is, well, they're by the same author. The first one is Beauty and the second one is Charm by Sarah Pinborough. Although now that I'm thinking about it, I think the second book is Charm and the third book is Beauty. I don't know. I probably should have reviewed that a little bit more. But anyway, these are fairy tale retellings by Sarah Pinborough, and they're more of they have a darker, naughtier twist on classic fairy tales. Charm is about Cinderella, and it is a Cinderella retelling, and I really enjoyed that book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I mean, clearly it's the second book in a series and they did not have the first one, so I couldn't read it. And clearly there were certain things that I missed because I did not read the first book. But even so, it was still a really enjoyable read. And I liked that the stepmother in this story was not really as cruel as Cinderella had originally thought that she was. As you go on in the story, that was something that I really enjoyed. The relationship between Cinderella and the stepsisters I enjoyed, at least the one that was still at home. And I liked the moral of the story, which I'm not going to get into right now. The second book, or the other book, Beauty, is a Beauty and the Beast / Sleeping Beauty / Rumpelstiltskin retelling. I found it very interesting how she wove all those different stories into one, and I really did enjoy the take on Beauty and the Beast. I thought that was a really original concept and I really enjoyed it, and I also gave that book a 4 out of 5 stars. I'm hoping that I will be able to track down, what's the first one? Poison, which is a Snow White retelling. I'm hoping I'll be able to track that one down and read it very soon, but they were super fast, easy reads, and quite enjoyable for what they were. They're not literary works of art, but they were fun. The next book that I'm going to talk about is Big Fish a novel of mythic proportions by Daniel Wallace. I don't know if anybody has seen the movie, but that's where I originally heard this story was the movie, and I saw this on Book Outlet and thought, hey, why not pick that up and see if it's better than the movie? For anyone who doesn't know, this story is about a young man whose father is dying, and he's going through his father's life, but all he really knows of his father's life are the stories that he told him. So he doesn't feel that he really knew who his father was. He only knows this mythical person as opposed to who his father really is. And it's a really good book. I have to say I probably enjoyed the movie a little bit better, but I did really enjoy the book, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I recommend it if you enjoy the movie. The next book that I have to talk about is Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. Sorry if there's a glare, this is a library edition. This story is about 3 sisters who are born on this island, and they are destined to become queen. They're the triplets of the previous queen, but in order to become queen, they have to kill the other 2 off. There is a naturalist, there is a poisoner, and there is a elemental. And in this story, there seems to be one sister who is incredibly powerful while the other 2 seem to be very, very weak. And it is that power dynamic and all that. And I really enjoyed this. This was definitely a dark story, and it was interesting to see how women are in power in this story as opposed to men making the decisions for all these women. It's women making other women's decisions, because let's be honest, these princesses have no say in their own life. But so I really enjoyed this. I'm excited to pick up the next book in the series. I thought it was supposed to be a duology, but apparently now it's like a 4-book series. And I'm not mad because it was pretty good. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars, in case I did not already say that. And then the last book that I'm going to talk about is my only 5-star read, and that is A Closed and Common Orbit by Becky Chambers. This is the 2nd book in her Wayfarer series. They're companion novels. They're not direct sequels as far as I understand. And this follows 2 characters, mainly 2 characters that you meet in the first novel. You follow Pepper and Lovelace in this one, and I really, really enjoyed it. It gives me so many warm, fuzzy feelings. I don't know if I enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, but I still did really, really enjoy it. I gave them both 5 stars, and I would definitely recommend anyone who likes character-driven stories to pick this up. Even if you're not really into sci-fi, it's not so sci-fi heavy that you're not going to enjoy it if those are the kinds of books you like, because these books are very character-driven, and I found it very interesting to see how Pepper grew up and how she became who she is today, and I loved it so much. Definitely recommend it. 10 out of 10 recommend. 5 stars. Read it. So those are all the books that I have for my recent reads. I'm hoping to be finishing a couple more here shortly, and I will be coming back at you with another one here soon. Hopefully, depending on how much reading I get done. All right. That's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.